on. Okay. So that's where we're going today. Information is going to be the knowledge that you need to move to the next place. Your ability to comprehend it is the understanding of the information that gives God the opportunity to speak to you. After that, you step into a dimension called revelation. Revelation is the mind of God migrated or downloaded to the mind of man. Got that?
Come on. Yes.
So when you receive revelation from a particular scripture, I'm preaching already. Once you receive that revelation, it gives God the opportunity to cause you to move into manifestation. So everything that you've been praying about, everything that you've been crying about, everything that you've been fasting about, you receive that based upon the revelation, because when God speaks a thing, he steps out on nothing, declares it to be, and it becomes.
Right.
And the reason why he speaks out on nothing, see, he is the awesome creator. He's an innovator, and he's an idealist.
Okay.
He stepped out on nothing in Genesis chapter 1 and declared everything. So if he has the ability, and I don't want to preach put the cart before the horse.
Come on.
But when he speaks a thing, if he can stand out on nothing and I'm created in his image, then why can't I step out on something and declare everything to
Right,
you?
right.
So I'm going to prove it. Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26 says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own" what?
Image.
In the image of God created him. Make he male and female created he them, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and what?
Multiply.
And replenish the earth and subdue it, and have what?
Dominion.
Dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So in order for you to have victory in your life, you step into one dimension. When you're born, you are stepping into one dimension already. God speaks everything into existence. And then he says on the 6th or 7th day, he says, I'm going to make man in my image. And what he does is he takes his breath and he speaks into Adam. So you have everything that you need for life and godliness according to 2 Peter chapter 1.
Come on.
You have everything according to life, godliness, and everything that you need is already locked in you when he breathed his breath of life into you. So before you were in an embryo in your mother's stomach, you had everything that you needed.
Come on.
Got it?
Come on.
Amen.
Y'all looking at me like you're lost. Got it?
Got it. Come on.
Got it. Okay. So let's move on. The first Adam was created from the dust, and then he was given dominion over every sphere and kingdom on this earth. So if Adam, the first Adam, was created in the likeness of God, and he is what is considered the father of all mankind, he has everything in him that's needed to prosper. So do you. But this is where we get hooked up. St. Matthew chapter 16. And I'm going to bring it all together.
Come on.
St. Matthew chapter 16 says, in verse 13, when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Come here, Alonzo. And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? Today I want to talk to you about the I am factor.
Come on.
And what that is everything that I needed for my life, I am already.
All right.
I am just waiting for the opportunity to step into a dimension
Come on.
that litigates what God has said about me.
Litigates. I like that.
So watch this. Come here, Amir. Asmir. That's it, right? Asmir.
It's Asmir.
Asmir, come here, Asmir. And let's keep reading. And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Come here, Stefan. I want to show y'all something. Step right here. Come here, Mir. Right here. And then Alonzo. And give me you. Yeah. So, this is, when you're born, this is the first dimension. He speaks into Adam. And Adam becomes a living soul. He gives him dominion over the fowl of the air, over every kingdom that has ever existed in the earth. He speaks it into Adam. Yes. So when you're born, this is your first dimension. So let's go. St. Matthew chapter 16 says that when Jesus came over, he asked his disciples, who do men say that I am? That's the second dimension. And this is where the enemy gets us tricked up, because we want to know what everybody else thinks about us.
Come on.
That's good right there.
Amen.
We want to know what you think about what I did last week, and who I'm going to marry, and what college I'm going to go to. We get stuck in this dimension of understanding who we are. We look for ourselves or for somebody else to tell us who we are, who don't even know themselves.
Ain't that something?
How do you have the capacity to speak into my life when you don't even know who you are?
Exactly.
Come on here.
What?
Come on, Apostle.
Oh.
And so we stop in this dimension, which is, who do men say that I am?
Come on.
And this is the dimension of what mama did and what daddy did. And I'm dealing with my daddy issues and my mama issues. And Lady Nika's like my mama because my mama was so wrong to me.
Don't do that.
And Apostle's like my daddy because
here we go.
there for me. So we get stuck in this dimension.
You're preaching already, sir.
But let's keep reading.
Read.
After he says, who do men say that I am? He steps into the next dimension. And he says, okay, y'all don't watch me work miracles. Y'all don't watch me do this. Y'all don't watch me do that. I done turn water into wine. I done casted out demons. Devils respond to me. You're walking with me.